Welcome to Real Clarity. This channel is created for people who feel confused in life, even when they are trying their best. Here, we don't focus on motivation that fades in one day, we focus on clear thinking, real understanding, and practical solutions for everyday life problems. Because most of the time, the problem is not life itself. It is the way we think about life. If you are someone who overthinks, struggles with decisions, or feel stuck in life, then you are in the right place. Let's simplify life together, one clear thought at a time. Welcome to Real Clarity. Why your thinking is blocking your success. Real clarity begins here. How to think clearly in confusing situations. Have you ever been in a situation where everything feels confusing? You don't know what decisions to take. You think about one option, then immediately doubt it. Then you switch into another option and feel even more lost. This is not rare. In fact, most people are not stuck because life is difficult. They are stuck because their thinking is scattered. And when thinking becomes scattered, even small decisions feel heavy. So today, let's slow everything down, not to give you motivation, but to give you something more powerful clarity. Because once you learn how to think clearly in confusion, life doesn't become easier, your mind becomes stronger. Why confusion happens? Confusion doesn't come from lack of intelligence. It comes from too many thoughts at the same time. Imagine your mind like a room. When the room is clean, you can see everything clearly. But when the room is full of scattered objects, you don't even know where to stand. That is exactly what happens in thinking. You are not thinking one thought deeply, you are thinking 10 thoughts shallowly. And most of them are fear of failure, fear of regret, fear of judgment, pressure from others, past experiences. So your mind is not actually thinking, it is reacting. And reacting is the opposite of clarity. First step, stop adding more thoughts. When people are confused, they do something interesting. They think more, they ask more people, they watch more videos, they overanalyze every option. But here is the truth, confusion is not solved by adding thoughts, confusion is solved by removing noise. So the first step is simple, stop feeding your mind new opinions for a while because every new opinion adds another layer of confusion. Instead, pause and say, what do I actually think without influence? Not what your parents think, not what society expects, not what fear is saying, just you. That is where clarity begins. Whenever you are confused, don't think randomly. This is the clarity method. Use this simple structure. What exactly is the problem? Most people are confused because they don't define the problem. For example, is it fear or failure, or lack of information, or pressure from others? If the problem is unclear, the solution will be always unclear. So, what is fear? Why fear? What's the reason of having a fear? Because you don't know what will gonna happen next for every single thing. There are so many ways we get fear. Fear of losing people, fear of losing your job, fear of losing your family, fear of talking to people, fear of talking and action, fear of society, fear of trying new things, fear of change, fear of losing your reputation, fear of losing physical things, fear of getting married, fear of death, fear of showing your real face to the society, fear of starting a new relationship, fear for your future, fear of ghost, fear of dark, fear of being alone, fear of being forgotten. The list will be more and more. Actually, there is nothing in this world we are not afraid of. Look at yourself first. Reality of fear is you are not scared of the dark. You are scared of what's in it. You are not scared of heights. You are afraid of falling. You are not afraid of the people around you. You are afraid of rejection. You are not afraid to love. You are afraid of being loved back. You are not afraid to let go. You are just afraid that he or she is really gone. You are not afraid to try again. You are just afraid of getting hurt for the same reason. Do the things you fear to do and keep on doing it every day. That's the quickest and surest way ever yet discovered to conquer fear. Being brave is in the absence of fear. Being brave is having that fear but finding a way through it. Fear is nothing more than an obstacle that stands in the way of progress. In overcoming our fears, we can move forward stronger and wiser within ourselves. So, what do I actually control? You don't control outcomes. You don't control people. You only control your effort, your decision, your next step. So, remove everything you can control. What remains is clarity. If I was not afraid, what would I choose? Fear is the biggest distortion of thinking. Most bad decisions are not logical decisions, they are fear based decisions. So imagine fear is gone, what remains is usually your real answer. Stop overthinking future. One reason people stay confused is because they try to predict everything. What if this fails? What if I regret it? What if I lose everything? But life doesn't work in full prediction. Clarity does not come from knowing the future. Clarity comes from knowing your next step. You don't need a perfect 5 year plan. You only need the next correct step. That's it. Because clarity is not a destination, it is movement in small, clear steps. Here is a different way to think that most people never use. Instead of thinking in chaos, think in layers. Layer 1 emotion. What am I feeling right now? Layer 2 reason. Why am I feeling this? Layer 3 reality. What are the actual facts? Most people stop at layer 1. They feel fear and act from fear, but clear thinkers go deeper. They separate emotions from reality. And when emotion is separated, decisions become easier. Final shift. The slow down your mind. Clarity is not speed, clarity is slowness. Confused minds move fast. Clear minds slow down. So when you feel confused, stop. Don't decide immediately. Sit with it. Let thoughts settle like dust in water because when water becomes still, you can see through it. And when your mind becomes still, you can see the truth. So next time you're confused, remember this. You don't need more thinking, you need clear thinking. And clarity is not something you find outside, it is something you create inside. Real clarity begins when your thinking becomes simple. Thanks for watching my video. See you from in the next video.